Oh my god, the time has finally come. Dune Imperium Digital Immortality has finally been announced. Here is the announcement. I'm going to go through it with you right now. Let's look at all of the details. I'll tell you up front, there is no release date. Soon is the best we got, but we'll talk about estimates on that as we go. Here we go. Dune Imperium Digital Immortality. As the great houses wage war, the Bene Tleilax advance their own agenda by trading in genetic innovations, make shadowy deals with the Tleilaxu to harvest genetic specimens, unlock the potential of scientific research, and graft cards together to empower your agents in immortality. Coming soon to Dune Imperium Digital. What immortality brings to Dune Imperium Digital? The Bene Tleilax, or Tleilaxu, are a powerful fringe society in the Imperium, specializing in genetic engineering. House leaders must carefully consider the costs of dealing with them, both financial and ethical. Tleilaxu replacement organs are widely used throughout the Imperium, but their genetic grafting programs and hybrid creations are looked upon with suspicion. Okay, here's our first look at the Bene Tleilax board. The Bene Tleilax board tracks each player's relationship with the shadowy Tleilaxu in two ways: the research track, which is here, and the Tleilaxu track, which is up at the top. So this part is the research track, this part up top here. Wait a minute. Okay, my camera's cutting off, but yeah, the Tleilaxu track is the top part, and this part is the research track. The research track. The research track represents each house's scientific gains from their involvement with the Tleilaxu. By engaging with the research icon, you can move forward on this track. With a litany of branching paths to choose from, you get to choose which rewards you reap from the Bene Tleilax's machinations. The Tleilaxu track. This track represents your favor with the Tleilaxu, which you can advance by activating the beetle-shaped Tleilaxu icon. Similar to other factions, you can gain victory points by moving up on this track, but there's no alliance to be formed here. The Bene Tleilax are shrewd in their dealings, and their services are offered to all houses willing to embrace their twisted ambitions. So let's take a look again at this thing, because the UI is one of the most interesting parts of how they're going to implement immortality. So we can see up at the top right there, there's a little button you can click to show this track or hide it, which makes sense because there wouldn't be space on the board for it. We can see right here, there's a button to convert your specimens back into troops whenever you want. I'll get more into the UI bit later, but let's just continue on here. Tleilaxu cards, the coolest part of immortality by far. The unique creations of the Bene Tleilax are represented on Tleilaxu cards. These cards are functionally similar to Imperium cards, but with a key difference. Instead of acquiring them with persuasion, Tleilaxu cards sit on their own row and can only be acquired with specimens, these green cubes. You can collect specimens, represented by cubes from your supply, by activating specimen icons on various cards and board spaces. Once you have enough, you can spend them during the reveal phase to acquire powerful Tleilaxu cards. Will you hire face dancer spies of unmatched skill, regrow damaged tissue and organs, or dare to employ people restored to life as Golas? Many surprises will await your foes as you bring these new tools to the conflict on Arrakis. Okay, card grafting. This is like one of the main mechanics of the cards from Immortality. Unlock powerful new deck building potential. Immortality brings 48 new cards to Dune Imperium Digital, comprising 18 Tleilaxu cards and 30 new Imperium cards. So the difference there is the Tleilaxu cards are these ones up here that you buy with specimens, and they sit in their own deck and they have their own little row next to the Imperium row. But Immortality also adds new cards to the regular Imperium deck. Many of these cards include the graft effect, allowing you to play 2 cards together in an agent turn. Graft cards can't be played alone. They must be combined with another card. But once grafted together, both cards act as one, granting you access to both of their agent icons and card effects for the turn. So this is maybe a hint at what the UI looks like for this. I'm guessing you probably drag a graft card out of your hand first. Maybe it shows up in this green box. then you drag your second card to combine with it. This unlocks powerful new combinations. What new opportunities await you when you use your signet ring on faction spaces? How will your opponents react when you bring your Sardaukar Legion straight into a battle space? Grafting brings a whole new world of possibilities to your games of Dune Imperium Digital. But it's not just the cards you're familiar with that will benefit from grafting. Certain new cards in Immortality have unique effects that trigger only when grafted. With familiar cards gaining new utility and new cards introducing comboing potential, deck building is taken to an entirely new level in Immortality. Okay, so we can see the UI here for reveal. Here's the Imperium row, and here is the Tleilaxu row. So all of these things will be showing during your reveal, and you can pick whichever ones you can afford. So the top ones up here you buy with Persuasion, and these ones down here you buy with Specimens. And you can see it shows you your Specimens and your Persuasion at the bottom there now, which is very cool. Okay, another feature in Immortality is Family Atomics. Feeling nonplussed about your options in the Imperium row? Want to deny your opponent a card that you know you can't let them have? Immortality gives each player a Family Atomics token right there, which can be used once per game to completely replace the card row. So yeah, once per game on your turn, you can use your Family Atomics and it will wipe the Imperium row. All of those cards in the Imperium row, not the supply obviously, but like here, Jessica, Lisa, whatever. Anyway, all those cards will just get wiped and be replaced with new ones. So you can do it to give yourself a chance to get better cards. Let's say you've got like 7 Persuasion and it's full of scouts. You can wipe the row on your reveal turn and try to find something more interesting. Or, like they said, it's like, okay, I know that Duke Leto just went to Research Station and he's probably trying to get Kwisatz Haderach, but he hasn't revealed yet, so I'm going to use my Atomics token and wipe the row and get rid of it. New challenges. 10 new challenges come to Dune Imperium Digital in this expansion, allowing you to run wild with the new mechanics from Immortality. As with the base game and Rise of Ix, each of these challenges will include a heroic variant with even more difficult AI and win conditions. Compatibility with Rise of Ix. Immortality is compatible with the base game as a standalone expansion, and it can also be combined with Rise of Ix. When creating a game, you can choose which expansions to include. Rise of Ix's Epic Mode is compatible with Immortality, and Immortality has a variant of its own, Go to 11, which allows you to play to 11 points and is compatible with both Ix and the base game. So there's going to be a lot more variants of the game, obviously. So currently, there's base game, Rise of Ix, and Epic Mode. There are 3 versions of the game available currently. Okay, so on top of that, we're going to be now adding Immortality, Immortality plus Ix, Immortality Ix Epic Mode, Immortality to 11, Immortality plus Ix to 11. I guess 11 wouldn't go with Epic. So there's at least 8 there, and I think I missed a couple. There's a lot of new different ways to play this game all of a sudden. Okay, and finally, expand the Imperium. With the Tleilaxu setting their sights on the desert planet, the conflict on Arrakis will never be the same. We'll have more to say about Immortality in the coming weeks, including a release date and additional previews. With new cards, mechanics, and unprecedented new deck building potential, Immortality is set to transform your games of Dune Imperium when it arrives. Wishlist it today on Steam. So that is the announcement from Direwolf about Immortality. So as you can see, there is no release date. They say in the coming weeks. Now, they just released a Clank digital expansion yesterday at the time of recording this video. And the announcement article went up about 2 weeks prior to the expansion coming out, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the same for Immortality, but it gives us a bit of a ballpark that it's probably coming out in somewhere 2 to 3 weeks, or like a month. Within a month, I would say, is a pretty good guess. But we'll find out more soon, and I'll certainly let you know as soon as I find out. Okay, before we go, I wanted to take a closer look at some of the screenshots and like take a look at how they're implementing some of the UI. So let me go over to this mode here. So here's a screenshot I want to look at. And again, this is looking at the Tleilaxu board. So that's going to be clicking that button in the top right to pop that on and off. So you're going to be able to see where your opponents are on the track and think about where you want to go on the track. Basically, whenever you activate that research icon, you're going to move your token to the left. You can either move like up to the left or down to the left, and you'll get rewards there. Okay, so that seems like a pretty reasonable UI decision to me, to just have that be like a click on and off to look at board. And it's going to be up in the top right there. You can also see that the preview for the Imperium row is just below the research track, up at the top right of the board there. That's going to show you your persuasion preview, but it also shows you your specimens. And you can see the Tleilaxu cards, the Tleilaxu row at the top right there, just next to the Imperium row, to the supply, which is, I think, obviously a great place to put it. So you can see all of those cards in one spot. And I think having the little specimen preview above there is a pretty nice touch. Now, also specimens are going to be shown on the player board. So, okay, there's none here. So it looks like they've made this resource area dynamic now, because if you look here, it's not showing any specimens for me. And maybe that means I don't have any. And it looks like, yeah, if I look at the preview up at the top right, it's 0 specimens for me. So it looks like maybe they'll only show you specimens and like maybe tech negotiators if you actually have any. If you're at 0, it just doesn't show up at all, perhaps, which I think is cool. I'll be interested to see how that actually works. Okay, I think that's it for this screenshot. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, here we can see Family Atomics in action. So the Imperium row over there is getting blown up. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like Leto here, the Direwolf player, just activated it because the Family Atomics icon is gone there now. So it's just been activated. Leto just blew up the row on his reveal turn, maybe. Yeah. Okay. And we can see Leto has some specimens there. So it does appear to be a dynamic system, which, yeah, I think is cool, but I'll be very excited to see it in action and see how that goes. Okay. This is, by the way, Immortality with base game, right? So you can see there's no shipping track or whatever. This is Immortality plus base game UI. Let's take a look at the next screenshot. Okay, so here is somebody revealing. We can see how the UI looks when you're revealing on your turn. All the revealed cards up there. You can see the Imperium row, the Tleilaxu row, and you can see where you drag your cards. It shows you your specimens and your persuasion. I think that's a very cool look. I'm so excited about this, man. I can't wait. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one is going to show us Rise of Ix in the mix here. So Immortality plus Rise of Ix. And you can see up in the top right there, they just, the tech button and the research or Tleilaxu track button just share space there, which makes total sense. They don't both need to be that entire length. I think that's fine. Everything else just kind of fits in the same as before. And taking a look at the player boards there, you can see that one thing I'm a little concerned about, I think it's probably okay, but there's no tech preview. There's no tech icon on my opponents up there. I hope that just means that it's this dynamic system and it only shows if they actually have tech. Because if for some reason they decided to get rid of that tech icon, it would be a complete disaster. Because it was so difficult to view opponents' text for a long time. You had to click on their face, then click inside a menu, then there was 3 clicks just to see somebody's text. And then they eventually added a mouse over preview, so you can just mouse over the little tech icon on their player board there, and you can see their text, which is such an incredible feature. So I'm hoping, and for now I'm going to believe that it's just not showing there because they don't have text, and it's this dynamic system that I think it seems like they've implemented. Hopefully that's the case, but we'll have to wait and find out more. Okay, that's it. That's the announcement for Immortality. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm very excited about this. Again, seems like it's going to be out within a month, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, something like that, but there's no official announcement, and until we get that, we won't know for sure. There's also nothing in this announcement about how ranked is going to be affected by this. I'm sure that information will come soon as well. I have no idea. If I had to guess, I might guess that they'll put Ix and Immortality together in ranked. Maybe it'll just be Immortality. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. So, Immortality! Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss anything. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/bludgeon, and check out the live streams Sunday mornings Eastern time, and you can join the Discord for more impromptu streams and chat there as well. Take care. Bye-bye.